Welcome back to another daily explanation. Today, we are looking at a problem called check if array is good. Here is the problem page, but the wording is a little bit abstract, so let's break it down simply. Basically, we are handed a list of numbers, and our only job is to check if it represents a very specific sequence. For a list to be considered good, we first look at the highest number it should contain. Let's call that highest number en. If our highest number is en, the total length of our list absolutely must be n plus 1. The second rule is that the list must contain every single number from 1 up to n minus 1 exactly once, but the maximum number, en, must appear exactly twice at the end. Let's walk through an example. Say we are given the numbers 1, 3, 3, and 2. First, we spot that the highest number here is 3. So our target en is 3. Based on our rules, if our target max is 3, we expect a length of 4, and the numbers should be 1, 2, 3, and another 3. If we rearrange our input list, it perfectly matches the expected numbers. So this list is indeed good. Before we jump into the code, as always, if anything is confusing, just drop a comment down below and I'll make sure to answer it. We'll walk through the solution using Python, but I'll provide the code for Java, C++, and JavaScript at the very end. The most straightforward way to solve this is our first approach. Just sort the given array. Once it's sorted, checking if it matches our pattern becomes incredibly simple. If we sort the array, we can just walk through it from left to right and make sure every single position holds the exact number we expect. Here is the full code for the sorting approach. Let's break it down into bite-sized pieces. First, we sort the list in place. Then, we determine what our target maximum number en should be. Since the length must be n plus 1, en is just the length of the list minus 1. Next, we loop through everything except the very last item. We check if the current number matches its expected position. For example, the first item should be 1, the second should be 2, and so on. If anything is out of place, we fail immediately. Finally, if all the previous numbers were perfect, we just have to check the very last item in the list. According to the rules, this final item must be exactly equal to our target maximum number, en. For this first approach, the time complexity is order n log n, mostly because we have to sort the entire list first. The space complexity is order log n, representing the memory used under the hood by the sorting algorithm. Now for the second approach. What if we want to go faster? We can actually solve this without sorting, by just counting the frequencies of the numbers we see. Here is the full code for the frequency counting method. Let's look closely at how this one works. This time we define n as the total length of the given list. Then, we create an empty list of zeros to act as our tally counter for each number we encounter. As we look at each number in our list, the first thing we check is if it's way too big. Because n is the length, the highest valid number we should ever see is n minus 1. If it's bigger than that, the list is bad. Next, for all the smaller numbers leading up to the maximum, they are only allowed to appear exactly once. If our tally shows we've already seen this number before, we immediately fail. Finally, the maximum expected number is allowed to appear exactly twice. So if we see it, and our tally shows we've already counted it 2 times before, that's an instant failure. If it passes all checks, we just increase its tally. Because we only loop through the list exactly once without any sorting, this brings our time complexity down to order n, which is significantly faster. The trade-off is the space complexity. It is order n, because we had to create that extra tally array to keep track of our counts. You might wonder about edge cases. The problem constraints guarantee all numbers are positive. As for lists that are too short or contain wildly huge numbers, our boundary checks inside the counting loop handle those instantly by failing fast. So the key takeaways here are that while sorting makes validation super obvious, using a simple frequency array is often the secret to bringing your speed down to linear time when checking sequences. If you want to test these solutions out without retyping everything, head over to the link in the description to grab the exact code I just showed you. As promised, let's quickly look at how this exact same logic looks in a few other popular languages. Here is the highly efficient frequency counting approach written out in Java. Next up, here is the exact same logic adapted for C++. And finally, here is how you would write the fast frequency counter in JavaScript. Just a quick channel update before we end. You can probably tell this voice is AI. I built a tool to generate these explanations instantly, so I can study faster. I've tweaked the video format recently to be much faster paced. So please let me know your feedback in the comments, and don't forget to ask any questions you have there too. I am trying to eventually cover every single problem on the platform, If you want to help support that goal, you can donate at the Buy Me a Boba link on screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get your daily streak done early. Keep coding, and I'll catch you next time.